Hello, my name is Kendall Dement, and today I am talking to you about my experience in Intro to Behavioral Health and Social Services. This class gave me a much greater output on what mental health is and what kind of doctors seek into mental health and what other ones help with services on not only trauma and or depression, but also different output on what a counselor does. I really enjoyed this class because it showed me the differences between each doctor in the mental health industry. I also really enjoyed this class, not only because it gave me a greater output on what these types of doctors do and the differences between them and the degrees that they have to get, but it also showed me what in-depth reasons of mental health is and how it can be created. And yes, I've had family struggle from depression and eating disorders and all of that stuff, but I didn't really know how it really comes about, and that kind of gives you a reason and it gives you different outputs and examples of how these things can occur in your life, and I really enjoyed that. I also, the most surprising thing I learned in this class was the risk of kids with childhood trauma of health issues in the future. I really had no clue that you can get all these other health issues. I mean, of course I knew about, okay, they have a higher risk of alcohol abuse and drug abuse and depression and all that stuff, but I really didn't know about the ACE scores and with what these scores do and how they can really affect, and how doctors can actually take these scores and kind of manipulate what they're going to struggle with in the future and kind of manifest that on them. I think that's probably one of the most interesting things that I learned in this class. But if I were to say why these were important to me, I would say I'm using this stuff in the future because when I become a doctor, or if I become a doctor, I'll be using these to not only understand what these other doctors do to help these kids, but also know kind of better understanding of what they're going through and how I can somewhat help them, even if I'm just seeing them for a health issue, or I can kind of backtrack on their old life experiences and know that, okay, well, this child had childhood trauma. Okay, well, let's look at what an ACE score for them is, or stuff like that. I would say that this is important to me because, which I already said that, but because honestly, nowadays mental health especially is way more well known, and I honestly think it's because social media, but bringing these causes and having more of an understanding of what these mental health issues are, maybe I can help people or loved ones or friendships, not only just in my career but in my personal life. If I were to have to give advice for future students, I would definitely say make sure you're really taking your time on this class, because I definitely was way busier than I thought this summer, and it put me a little bit more behind, but this class was still very eventful and learning, and I wish I put way more time into it. But I definitely, for advice, I would give these students to really read and do your research on things and make sure, yeah, some things might not be as interesting to you, but find a way to be interested in it. And it's a really cool class to understand and get to know. Another advice I would give to a future student is to make sure you take this class in the right timing and make sure that you really pay attention, like I pretty much said before. But thank you for listening to me. It was great taking this class, and I hope you like it too in the future.